Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alex Light, and welcome to Racing Lights Productions, your home for sim racing. We are live at the virtual Talladega Superspeedway for the Online Motorsports Association's Virtual Racing Championship, SeatGeek Last Chance 250. Tonight is the final race of the regular season for Season 11, and there is a lot on the line. Several drivers are locked into the playoffs heading into tonight. However, there are still a few coveted playoff spots available. After last week's Pocono race, we saw Daniel Botafuco take the checkered flag in a one-off start for this season. The SeatGeek Last Chance 250 truly is a last chance for many of these drivers. As we'll see in a moment, there are a few drivers that are outside of the top 12 that still have a chance of making the playoffs through the wild card. If they manage to win tonight's race, they will cement their place in the Season 11 playoffs. That also means that there are a few drivers that might feel safe inside the bubble for now, but can lose their spot if they don't get high enough in the points. Tonight's race is going to be all about keeping your car clean for the push at the end. For some of the drivers, they might need to try and make a push for stage points as well. It will also be interesting to see how the drivers that are already locked into the playoffs choose to approach tonight's race. Will they be aggressive since they have nothing to lose, or will they choose to play it safe and possibly help any of the drivers trying to make it to the show at Darlington? Let's go take a look at the current point standings to get a better idea of who is on the bubble for tonight's race. So taking a look here at the points standings for tonight, you can see your points leader, Jarrett Talmadge. We are locked in all the way through 5th place for points. So there's a good bit of drivers locked in. Now there is a big update that came out earlier this week. Or earlier today, actually. It was something that came out today. Jewah, he is going to be forfeiting his playoff spot for the Season 11 playoffs, meaning we will not get a 4-peat champion. You're going to be crowning a new champion in Season 11, I mean. Another driver has also forfeited their playoff spot. If they were to make it, that would be Jonathan Amodio. He is unable to make a lot of the races, he had said, so he will not be competing in the Season 11 playoffs as well if he were able to make it. So taking a look here, going forward, here, give me one moment. Okay. Taking a look at things, so drivers not locked in: Isaac Shelley, Jared Newton, Brad Qualls, Min Hang, Ryan Miniker, and then because of those two drivers not going to be competing in the playoffs, Brian Baker and Jimmy Amos are the last two in. Those are the two wildcard spots right now: Brian Baker, Jimmy Amos. Then JT Sipes, Victor Imbasciani, Noah McGalliard, Christopher Law, all eligible for the wildcard spots. So we'll see how things play out. It's going to be very interesting. Oh, hang on. Okay, sorry. Just trying to make sure things are all good on the race end. But yeah, so we have 4 drivers outside of the cusp right now that have an opportunity to try and make in. So we will see kind of how things go for tonight. We'll have a better graphic that shows the playoff situation as we go on throughout the race. However, we are just about ready to get going, so let's go take a look at our starting lineup here for tonight's race. Small field, unfortunately. Not sure if a lot of drivers were just unable to make it in or what was going on. But let's go take a look at the starting lineup for the SeatGeek Last Chance 250. On pole, we have Min Hang. Min Hang is going to be eligible for the wildcard spot. He's actually eligible for the playoffs. He needed to attend this race in order to make it, so he is going to be eligible for the playoffs if he's able to make it on points. Brian Baker qualifying alongside him, only 5,000ths of a second off. Second row is going to be made up of Jarrett Talmadge and Ashton Tackwell. Third row is going to be Ryan Miniker and Thomas Green. Then in the fourth row, we've got Justin Rosemine and Jared Newton. In row 5, we've got Christopher Lull and Vincenzo Iacovazzi. And then in row 6, we're going to have James Mendez and Brad Qualls. Rounding out our field for tonight, we're going to have Jimmy Amos and Gatlin Downey. So a rather small field here tonight. But this is going to be some good racing. Lots of drivers trying to get themselves into the playoffs. So we'll see how drivers fare with all of this here tonight. We should be getting ready to go around for our pace lap here in just a moment. Now, taking a look, to give you a better look at kind of how the playoffs are going to look, or at least a cutoff situation. There it is in the bottom right corner for you. So taking a look, Isaac Shelley, not here. Oh, sorry, he is here tonight. No, he is not. My bad. Isaac Shelley not here tonight. So not sure if he's still locked into the playoffs. If since he's not here, just making it on points. Jared Newton, another driver, not here tonight. So we'll see if he makes it on points. Brad Qualls, he is in attendance tonight, so that's going to help him greatly to be able to get points. Same with Min Hang, Ryan Miniker, Baker, Amos, all here. And then on the outside, no Sipes tonight. So we've seen JT Sipes. He's been a very strong driver at many races, but unfortunately not here tonight. So he is not going to be making it into the playoffs. Victor Bassiani not here as well. Only one on the outside, Christopher Lull. So he wins, he's in. We'll see how many drivers are going to be pushing hard here for the playoffs situation. A couple repeat winners in here tonight as well. We've got Jarrett Talmadge, current points leader. He's starting in 3rd place. And then we've got James Mendez. He's gotten himself 2 wins this season. He's riding back in 11th place to start tonight's race. So Min Hang, he recently switched over to Nexus Esports, no longer racing for Guinness Motorsports. He is on pole here tonight in the 2 car. Have some really exciting racing, even though it is a small field. Definitely going to be some good battling going on here tonight. And as we come down, Benny, the pace car driver, is off. Barney, the flagman, is ready to go with the green flag for our first start of the night. You can see they're getting ready to come through the tri-oval. And here we go, green flag racing at Talladega Superspeedway for the SeatGeek Last Chance 250. So as we come around the back stretch, coming into turn 3, going through 3 and 4. It's going to be really interesting to see how things play out tonight. The small field, so it's going to be a little bit harder, I think, to build runs. You're not going to be able to pair up with a whole ton of people. Definitely got to find a few people that you know you can really trust. And we know some drivers that really work together. Jarrett Talmadge, Thomas Green, they are teammates. They're going to be working with Min Hang. I am sure of it. They do a lot of work with him too, racing up at the front for most races. On the outside, though, you see Justin Rosema and Brian Baker in the 26. Oh, Min Hang off. He's able to recover, but that's going to send him way back through the field, all the way to the tail end. It looked like maybe a little bit of a connection issue, so... Like we were saying there, Justin Rosema, Brian Baker right now running in the middle now of a 3 wide. Garrett Talmadge trying to see if he can weasel his way into the top lane. It's going to be interesting to see which lane is going to prevail since we have a smaller field here tonight. Sometimes that top lane is kind of the preferred lane, especially around Talladega where you're able to get a little bit more space. Daytona, you don't get as much separation, so when you start to run it towards the wall, sometimes you pick up drag up there, which is going to slow your line down. But here, track's a bit wider. You can run up a little bit higher in that middle lane. You're not going to have as many troubles with it. Right now, we see Rosema and Baker kind of pulling away a little bit, but they're not going to get away too far. That outside line is 4 drivers. Looks like they're getting grouped up pretty well. That outside line consisting of Thomas Green, Jarrett Talmadge, Gatlin Downey, and James Mendez. The one thing to definitely keep an eye out here tonight, though, is if you take a look, you can already see Jarrett Talmadge running all the way up at the back bumper of teammate Thomas Green. And you can just see how close he is all the way up to the back bumper. And you have to be careful with the temps. It's very easy to overheat these cars. You can see he's trying to run off of them a little bit, trying to get a little bit of clean air on the nose, trying to get that cool air on the intake, trying to see if you can keep the temps down. But it's really hard with these next gens because you need to be on all the time. Otherwise, there's like a little bubble that it's hard to break. But if you can get that car to suck up to it, you can definitely go quick. There's going to be a lot of give and take here tonight, but it seems like we already seeing a look here at the front. The 1 and the 26 working really well together. See if they can continue that stride as Justin Rosewell has been leading pretty much every lap so far. Just a little reminder, a little bit of review for those of you unfamiliar with how the OMA VRC works. We do have a stage break. However, we do not throw the caution for the stage break. Stage is taken at the halfway point at the beginning of lap 47 tonight. And so that's where we'll take the top 10 and award points based on the top 10. A little bit of a wiggle there from the 24 of Ashton Tackwell. Going to force Thomas Green to the outside, going to slow down that top lane. Bottom lane starting to pull away again, but Tackwell is going to be in the sucker hole going all the way to the back. Right now it seems like the dominant line is that bottom lane. The outside lane, they've been trying to get it working. Oh, and Jared Newton is here. I did not know. I totally missed the 45 lead here. He's in a different scheme tonight, so I guess it threw me off. You can see, look at that, Thomas Green, Jared Talmadge, and Jared Newton up there on the wall running right now. Going to give them a ton of momentum down the back stretch if they can keep it straight. And if they can get Newton to catch up a little bit to Jared Talmadge, they'll really be able to send it. That's where the issue is going to be, is trying to be able to get the 3 of them lined up and pushing real hard. We'll see how aggressive Thomas Green's going to get. If you want to side draft that inside lane, you can definitely pick up a lot of speed and be able to carry yourselves forward a lot. It's a very aggressive move, especially considering we're coming around. It's going to be lap 7. They need to be that bold that early, especially when we have 2 of the 3 drivers in this top lane. They are locked into the playoffs right now. So Minhang fell off a whole lot. You can see right now he is back about 23 seconds, continuing to drop. Vincenzo Iacovazzi and Jimmy Amos also pretty far back. I'm not 100% certain. I think Vincenzo Iacovazzi might be subbing in tonight for Tim Moore. Tim, typically driving the 69 machine. He is unfortunately not here. He's been having some trouble with internet connection, power, and everything due to a storm blowing through in his area. So he's not here tonight, but I believe he had said and he's going to have Iacovazzi being his sub for tonight. I'm not 100% sure if that is the case, though. So if it is, he's going to be earning points for the 69 here tonight. James Mendez moving up to the top. Here comes Thomas Green. He's going to push all the way through the corner, and they are flying to go around the outside. Up to the front here, new race leader, the 92 of James Mendez. After getting his first win earlier this year at Michigan, he's looking to get his 3rd now of his career, and it'll be 3rd of the season. Very impressive here. A first-time winner in the OMA VRC earlier this year. We're looking to see if he can keep riding the wave. He's currently 3rd place in points. With Jolene Sims not being here, he's definitely gonna bump himself up to 2nd in points. But depending on how things play out, could he even surpass Jared Talmadge for the points lead? That's the question. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be pretty hard, though, given the size of the field. This front pack is top 11 right now, and James Mendez going to the bottom. He's trying to control the lanes already. Not even on lap 10, going very strong. Now, one change about tonight, as opposed to what we normally do. Normally, the fuel tank's a little restricted. But tonight's race, we're running 100% fuel, so expect fuel runs to be anywhere between about 35 to 40-ish laps, I believe, is kind of the expected fuel run in these next-gen Cup cars. Obviously, it kind of varies based on what your strategy is going to be. As we come around lap 10, James Mendez is going to lead another lap. Continuing to get pushed by Thomas Green as they're going to move to the bottom. Jared Talmadge might be moving up to the front. You got the 8 of Ryan Miniker on the outside. He's got Jared Newton behind him, and it looks like Talmadge is going to drop in behind his teammate, right in front of Justin Rosema. That inside line is just kind of looking like we're going leapfrogging a little bit. You work your way to the front, then you get a little bit of help, come down to the bottom, and you are the new leader. You can see Jared Talmadge going to be jumping up to the front. He's got Rosema behind. Rosema's been pushed by Baker. We'll see how well of a pusher he is. He's going to be shoving the 16 to the front. They're going to clear the 92 as they get ready to go through the tri-oval. And I think the front 3 on that top line are all clear. Yes, they are. Baker moving out of the bottom. Almost getting some contact there with James Mendez, but it's going to be race leader for the 16. He's going to get his first lap lead of the night. So as we're going around, why don't we take a ride on board here with the 92 of James Mendez, just so you can see kind of what it's like to be right in the middle of this sandwich. He's getting a good push here for Brian Baker, trying to get him to the front. They're going to be clear. They come down the front stretch. Looks like Baker's going to get his first laps lead of the day. And that back stretch kind of seems to be where everybody decides they're going to be moving around. And you can take a look just how all over the bumper the 92 of James Mendez is, and how some of them have to be to really push to the front. You can see going around the outside. Talmadge thinks about it. Isn't going to send it there. Excuse me. So it looks like Baker might be able to lead 2 laps here. Outside line, they're trying to get moving, and you kind of can with the next gen car use a 2-car push. You got to utilize side draft a ton. You got to have that second person all over the back bumper of the first. Take a look right now. Not really getting that from the 8 of Miniker. But we've got 2 drivers jumping out of line here. That is going to be the 26 of Rosema and the 16 of Talmadge, and they seem to be working pretty well together. Not going to be able to make the push to the front there. Look at James Mendez all over the back bumper. But they're backing off a little bit. It looks like they may be trying to form a run on that high line. Talmadge decides to drop back down. A little bit of disorganization on the outside. Taking a look a little bit further back here, this is the 10 of Yakavazi and the 67 of Jimmy Amos. And a little bit further back, coming around turns 1 and 2. Jimmy Amos right now, again, is the current cutoff driver for the playoffs. Christopher Law is able to try and beat him out on points, but he's got to be huge leap. Win for sure locks the 17 into the playoffs. So we'll see if he's going to be able to do that. And then we've also got a little bit further back, got Min Hang. He is joined up with the back, actually. He's going to catch on to this draft, hopefully. Back up to the front. Mendez doing a really good job pushing in the 1 here. And able to hold on to the race lead for quite a while. So as we can continue on, Brian Baker's still holding on to the race. Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle there from the 16 of Jared Talmadge on the outside. Must have been a bad push there. Nothing really forming our top 5 right now on that inside line. We got Baker, Mendez, Qualls, Lowell, and Miniker all riding on the inside line. Gatlin Downey also back down there. That outside line, an interesting mix of drivers. Jared Noon has fallen off a pace now. I'm not sure what happened to the 45 as he is now fallen off a good bit. Same with the 26 of Justin Rosema. Maybe some bad bumps, maybe getting loose off a corner. Because both drivers kind of on their own at this point. Jared Talmadge to the front, and he's going to drop down to the bottom there in the 16. We're about halfway through this fuel run, and a huge wiggle from the 3 coming off the corner. Looks like the 2 might have taken the air off his wing a little bit. As we're starting to get closer to pit stops, the question becomes, who are you coming in with? Typically, when you do these super speedway races, you look for a large group of drivers. You want to try and have about, oh my gosh, what a block there from the 16. That sends the 92 into the wall. And then, oh, we're going to have hit from Min Hang, where the driver's going to have to go under the apron here, try and keep things clean. We stay green flag racing, avoiding what could have been a huge incident there on the backstretch. Like I was saying though, big thing now is as you go through strategy here, this front group, only 9 drivers. Typically, when it comes to super speedway races, you're able to go down. You plan for like going down to the pits with a group of 4 to 5 cars, maybe. Sometimes you can work it out 6, maybe even 7 to have a big group to hopefully build yourself some separation and pull away from the rest of the field. However, with tonight's small group, it's going to be interesting to see what the strategies are going to be, because you can use a group of maybe 3. As long as you're grouped up and running organized and clean, you could potentially run away with things. We are almost 4 wide going into turn 3. It is Justin Rosema re-entering the field. He wasn't incredibly slow, but almost LePage the field a bit there. As the front runners all the way out to the outside wall coming through the tri-oval, and interesting to see the lanes being used right now. Kind of odd to see drivers using literally every lane. As Jared Talmadge to the outside, going to put teammate Thomas Green in the sucker hole. If he plays it right though, and typically stay caught up, but not really a lot of room for movement as Min Hang is going to try and get his lead back the old-fashioned way, or his lap back the old-fashioned way. He is now back on the lead lap. He's leading the charge right now. 26 of Rosema also back there, currently 1 lap down since Baker is the current leader. So if Rosema can work his way around Baker, he's going to get himself back on the lead lap as well. We look a little bit further back in the field, you can see the 92, James Mendez leading the outside charge. Going to see if he can work his way to the front. They're pretty spread out, so he might be able to. He's got Jared Talmadge giving him some really hard pushes all over the back bumper of the 92. You can see all the wiggles coming out there from him, almost lifting that back end as they are tandem. They are hooked coming down the backstretch into turn 3. Huge charge from the 92 on the outside line. We'll see if what he's going to be able to get done coming through the front stretch, as they are all 3 hooked up. Min Hang's going to go to the top to block it. Almost putting the 92 in the wall. Ooh, that is Min Hang. He's getting loose. Here we go. Wreck happening on the tri-oval. That's going to be the 13 in the outside. And there is our first caution here of the night. Big damage, unfortunately, for the 13. Minhang looks like he's beat up a little bit himself. Not sure what Minhang was going for there, blocking down the tri-oval. That's going to throw off fuel strategies a little bit. We're going to come down. Everybody's going to get full service. Let's go take a look at that wreck one more time. Thomas Green actually jumping to the pits in tow. Take a look from a couple different angles here at that wreck. Taking a look at Minhang here, coming down the tri-oval. Tries to block the 92, just a big enough run. Can't block it. Jared Talmadge down low a little bit, trying to see if he can work his round. I'm not sure what happened with the 3. It seemed like the car might have been okay. We'll go on board here. So on board with the 3 car. This is Thomas Green. He goes to the outside, tries to avoid it all, gets shoved to the outside. Also broken a toe or something, it sounds like. Let's go on board here with the 13 of Brad Quall so you guys can get a feel of what happened there from his point of view. The outside there, he comes down. Nothing he really can do. He's going to try going to the grass, but then he's just along for it. So our first wreck of the night coming lap 23. We made it almost a third of the way through the race before a caution. Pretty impressive, though, given all the blocks that were being thrown out there. Drivers being very aggressive, even though for a small field, putting on a great show. As we come down into the pits, led on by Brian Baker. We'll see the race off of pit road. Some drivers opting for 2 tires, some opting for 4. Christopher Lull, Gatlin Downey, Brian Baker, your first 3 off pit road. Ryan Miniker will be 4th off pit road. And then it looks like Jared Newton as well. The rest of the field having to repair some damage. So just a little reminder here, taking a look. This is what's on the line here, playoff cut line. A lot of these drivers not here tonight. Shelley not here. We're missing Sipes and Bastiani McGalliard. So a lot of those drivers above the cut line are safe just for showing up. Newton, Walls, Hang, Miniker, Baker, all pretty much safe. The only one that's pretty much at risk of their playoff spot, Jimmy Amos, kind of assuming that Christopher Law does not win the race. Or we'll see if he's able to outscore him in points. Right now, he's going to be your race leader whenever we get ready to go green flag racing. Now, we are going to pull a driver into the booth here real quick. One moment here. We're going to pull the 3 car of Thomas Green here into the booth. And Thomas, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
How's it going out there, Thomas? That was a huge wreck that you took.
Yeah, I think the driver of that 16 might need a reevaluation because I think he was pushing too hard too early, and we got up in that wreck. But we're sitting here towing, almost done with the tow. See if we can't try to battle for a lap back or 2 and get back up there and win this thing for Dale.
That would be awesome to see. I mean, considering this was one of Dale's best tracks. But go for tonight, for at least for you, getting wrecked here is not a huge deal because you're locked into the playoffs at this point. But we'll see if you can get that car back out there. Hopefully it's able to get repaired before we go green flag racing.
Absolutely. We'll get this thing back at the front. It's a beautiful looking 3 car.
It absolutely is a beautiful looking 3 car. I always love the Intimidator scheme.
Oh yeah, man.
All right, well, we're going to send you back on up to your chat with Jarrett, and hopefully we'll see you back on track here shortly.
Thank you, man.
All right, so that was Thomas Green, driver of the 3 car. So he's, as he said, is towing right now. Looks like he is back out on track. So he's got his fast repair used, and he is ready to go. He's only 2 laps down, it appears. Couple drivers 1 lap down. Min Heng is 1 lap down. Looks like Ashton Tackwell might be 1 lap down. Not 100% certain there, but we'll find out here once we get ready to go green flag racing. It absolutely is a good chance for a first-time winner. We were talking about that a little bit earlier, with a lot of drivers missing, a lot of drivers looking for their first win, like Christopher Lowell, Gatlin Downey, Brian Baker, the rookie. It'd be awesome to see him get his first win and lock himself for sure into the playoffs. Ryan Miniker looking for his first win since we made the switch to iRacing, same with Jared Newton. Vincenzo Iacovazzi, after falling off earlier, he's up at almost the top 5. So really the only ones that have won before, at least when we've made the switch to iRacing since I've been here, we've got Min Heng, James Mendez, Jared Talmadge, and I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, Thomas Green won last season, but I don't remember for sure. But we're getting ready to go green flag racing yet again. As we come around the tri-oval, the field in the hands of the 17 of Christopher Law as we go through the Geico restart zone. He is off. He's got Brian Baker pushing him behind. Jared Newton as well. Gatlin Downey getting no help from Ryan Miniker. Good timing on the restart for the 37, but no help whatsoever from behind. He's going to have to fall back and hopefully get a little bit of help. The 1 in 17 pulling away a little bit here. Not going to last for too long. He's easy and getting out ahead. It's almost like watching the Atlanta races. You see the drivers start to pull ahead here a little bit, and then you reel them back in, and that's when you make the move. Is here you go. Jared Newton to the outside. Going to try and look to make something happen. It's not going to be enough. He's going to settle back in line. That outside line looking to build up some momentum. Outside line currently is Miniker. Looks like Miniker, Newton, Mendez, oh sorry, that's Iacovazzi, not Newton. Iacovazzi and Green. And oh, we've got some sliders behind. Not sure what happened there. We'll go back and get a replay, but oh man, Brad Qualls takes a hit on the 92. Hopefully that doesn't hurt Brad Qualls too much. You can see the nose dented in a bit. We'll go back, watch that replay, and see what exactly happened. Second caution here of the day. Let's come through the tri-oval. Iacovazzi gets up on the 8 car of Miniker. Oh, and he catches him in the quarter panel, and that's what causes that wreck. Unfortunate there. Let's go right on board. Let's go see what Iacovazzi was looking at here as he came around on the outside of the 8 car. Gets the run, gets the bump, he gets in there. Was he almost just drifts up a little bit, coming through the tri-oval. Unfortunate there. Let's go right on board with the 92 of James Mendez. And then he goes for a spin himself there. There's the hook. Nothing you can do. You just along for the ride there for the 92. Try to lock it down. Gets pushed there. Hopefully nothing too bad there for him. So one more I want to ride on board here with. Let's go hop on board with the 8 of Ryan Miniker. Look at the back bumper here. You can see here as we go to the front stretch. Hook, but then here's where the bad touch is. Right there, it just gets a little too far to the outside. Just along for the ride at that point. So it looks like only 2 drivers coming down pit lane. Really interesting to see only a few. Oh, there we go. They must have just been catching up with the field. I didn't realize Miniker lost his front bumper there. Guess it makes sense because he hit the outside wall, so. Second caution of the night here coming pretty early. Like I said, unfortunately, a small field here tonight, but that is okay. Definitely getting some exciting racing already. That's for sure. Oh, and I do have an update here from the 24 car of Ashton Tackwell. So he said he had some trouble with his system here. So his sim had crashed, and then some reason the anti-cheat was not letting him back in. So fortunately, looks like his night is done. We'll see if he can get back in. Hopefully he's able to, but we'll see. There's still plenty of race. Yeah. So while we go around pacing here, let's take a look at our playoff schedule. So ignore the dates. The dates are a little off here. Just push them back 1 week. But our next race is going to take place in 2 weeks. Next week's the All-Star race. And then we're going to go to Darlington for the first race of the playoffs. After Darlington, we're going to go road course racing at the very long track that is Coda. Very fun track, though, that's for sure, especially in these next-gen cars. One big thing, and I don't know if it's going to be enforced, is the incident points. These cars, very easy to run past track limits, and we'll see if that's going to be an issue in the race. Then after Coda, we're going to go gambling in Vegas, then to New Atlanta on the 420 on April 20th. And then after going to Hotlanta, which is going to be an interesting race with the Superspeedway-esque racing last year. It was a very fun race. That's where we saw the OCM racing debacle, where they could have had a 1-2-3 for OCM, and then there was an incident that sent all 3 of them into the outside wall and gave up the race win for OCM. After that, we're going to go to Dover and finishing out the season at Chicagoland. So 6 races in the playoffs, and it's the old chase-style playoffs. It is not elimination rounds. 12 drivers compete in all 6 races, so they're able to win all the way through the very end. Just depends on how things play out for them. So as we come around the back stretch, getting ready to go green flag racing, it'll be our second restart here of the night. Again, stage break is at lap 47. Just as a reminder, we do not throw the caution here for stage. We keep rolling green flag racing through the stage break. We'll just go back at the start of lap 45 after and award the bonus points from there. Taking a look at things, your first couple of rows for this restart. We've got the 17 going to lead the field around again. Is going to be Christopher Law. Aaron Newton on the outside. Gatlin Downey behind on the inside line. Jimmy Amos, almost like a career high here. 4th place for him. Get ready to come around the triangle. Now, one thing I think I failed to mention here for the Superspeedway, we are not doing the choose cone. So you'll notice that instead of drivers coming down pit lane and stuff like that, they are just staying out green flag races. Here we go, green flag going again. Christopher Law leading the field around. As the 17 disappears, there he is back. Scary moment there, I'm sure, for Gatlin Downey. That inside line's almost checking up a little bit. Jimmy Amos down to the inside line. He's going to get a push here from the 17. Outside line, Newton and Baker. They're going to ride all the way up to the wall. Min hang back there. He is 1 lap down. He's currently in the lucky dog position. He's able to keep the car clean. Next caution, he's going to get his lap back. 45 to the inside. That is going to be Baker leading the lap. Hang going on to the front. Oh, look, maybe to get his lap back the old-fashioned way. We saw him try to do that earlier. And then got shuffled through the order, and he's actually going to get shuffled through the middle of the field this time. Probably not too happy about that, as Jimmy Amos going to duck out of the pack, going down to the apron. Here comes Gatlin down the, going to the middle, 3 wide. Going to try and side draft the bottom. That's only going to help the top line, because they're going to be pushing. You've got James Mendez shoving the 16 of Jared Talmadge to the front. And I think they're gonna get clear with Justin Rosema. Rosema and Green gonna try and go to the inside. And we heard earlier Thomas Green was talking to us about the 16 car being too aggressive. Probably just making jokes at his teammate there, but big moves being made here. He's going to be up to the front. He's got Rosema behind. We saw Rosema pretty dominant early. He was leading the first 5 or 6 laps. And 16 is going to have help from his teammate in 3. Christopher Law also looking to see if he can get up there and win the race. He's on the outside looking in the playoffs, so a win here would lock him in. He's been running up front ever since he got to the front of the restarts. It almost seems like these first 3 cars trying to pull away. They slowly are working their way out, and then Field just sucks them back in. Thomas Green gets a lap back here, just on merit alone. Very quickly falls back into the field, though. So he didn't get out and get his lap back for very long. And we're spinning again. It's going to be our 3rd caution here. Meaning we are going to have a shootout here for the stage break. Let's go see who brought out our 3rd caution. We're going to take a wide look at it from the blimp angle. He was a bad push somewhere in the top line. You saw Christopher Lowe go around. Gets out of line. Yep, there it is. And Hang hits him not squared. Oh, Ryan Miniker takes a lick. And the rest of the field just falls apart. Not sure what had happened to the 3. He started spinning, but we'll hop on board, do a couple on boards. Let's go on board with Ryan Miniker, because he took a licking there coming around the backstretch. And he is just not having a good time tonight. That is the 2nd big hit he's taking. We're not even at the stage. That could very well cost him his chance of winning tonight. And nothing he could do, people on the inside. That could very well just ruin the engine the way he took that hit. Go right on board with Thomas Green, because I'm not sure what had happened here with him. Or why he got swirly. Because he has his teammate hop down. Oh, no, he didn't. He got turned from behind, it looks like, when it was the transition on the apron. Go right again here on board there with the 3 car. See if we can find out the exact reason that he ended up getting turned around. Thankfully, it didn't look like anybody hit him or he got any damage. Yep, there it is. He got a little bit of a touch. It's hooked. Thankfully, no damage there for the 3 car. He was able to keep it clean. Do one more on board. We're going to do Min Hang here, so you can see just exactly how he hits the 17 and sends him sideways. 17 in line. 26, there's the problem. 26 is kind of all over. And so when the 17 makes a move, Min Hang unfortunately touches him, makes contact, and then we're dirt racing. Turn right to go left as he gets back onto the pavement. Yeah, Ryan Miniker probably done with that wreck, unfortunately. The way he took that hit, gonna give him significant damage on that front end. But taking a look, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that was necessarily a block that was made. Just not holding the line too well, and that's where it gets tough. I mean, you have to really trust the people up front. And whew, taking a look at the 45, that front end definitely beat up a good bit. Jerry Noon coming down, looks like he's going to get some damage repair, maybe probably top off on fuel. At this point, most drivers are probably going to be doing that each lap here just to make sure they've got enough fuel to get through the end. Min Hang going to be back on the lap. Thomas Green going to be one lap down. With that, though, they're going to take the wave around as we get ready to go green flag racing this next time around. So we're going to have a 10-lap shootout here to the stage break. And lap 47, where we're going to have our stage. Taking a look at the line orders, the inside line, we're going to have Brian Baker, the 10 of Vincenzo Iacovazzi, and then it looks like Gatlin Downey. Yes, it'll be Gatlin Downey on the inside line. The outside line going to be led by Jared Talmadge, Christopher Lull, who's got a fresh, clean car out there, and then Jimmy Amos. Let's see if Jimmy's going to try and make his way to the front. We saw him back out earlier once he started falling through the field. Now, taking a look here again, we're going to bring up the graphic here for the playoff cut line. So taking a look at things, right now, Christopher Lull, he's fourth place on that outside line. But he's been as high as the race lead, so if he gets stage win, that would be huge 10 bonus points for him, as well as getting himself a playoff point. So we'll see if he's going to be able to get back up to the front, because Jared Talmadge definitely going to be doing everything he can to get up before that race win. There's the other drivers that are right there on that cut line, trying to make sure they get enough points to lock themselves in. Brian Baker, one further back. We'll see if Jimmy Amos decides to really push here, because he needs to try and build as much of a gap as he can. He wants to make sure he is in the playoffs here for season 11. Benny, the pace car driver, is off. So now the field in the hands of the one car. That is Brian Baker. You take a look, Barney, the flagman, ready to go. Green flag in hand. Here we go through the Geico restart zone. So here we go. Third restart of the night. 10 laps until we get to our stage break. Brian Baker leads him to the start finish line. You can see a couple of drivers up here already been involved in a few incidents. You've seen Vincenzo Iacovazzi gave a push that was not squared up. We just saw Christopher Lull got turned around by Min Hang because he wasn't staying in line, and you can see the 8 of Miniker on that outside. No front end. He's driving a modified out there on Superspeedway. We'll see how that fares for him. As we come around, Christopher Law looking to go to the inside. Not going to be able to get enough for the run. He's going to have to settle in line, but Miniker disappears for a moment. He's going to have to just settle in down at the bottom. Ryan Baker pulling away right now. Get a wider view here. You can kind of see the way the runs are going. 1, 2, 3. We've got Baker, Talmadge, and Miniker. T. Mendez peeking the inside line. Minhang is back on the lead lap here in the 2 car. I have no idea how the 8 car is up here. The fact that the car is missing his front end altogether. Mendez going to get shuffled through as we come around. It's going to be lap 40. 7 laps to go until stage. So if you're going to try and make a run for the stage win, you got to start setting something up soon. As you can see, the outside line quickly becoming the preferred line out there. But further back here comes Minhang. He's not going to make the push. Decided to settle in behind. Not sure what happened there with the 17. Must have gotten shuffled through. Have Thomas Green pick him up. Hopefully give him a push. But we are mostly single file. I think we're completely single file. It looks like the Indianapolis 500 out here. Everybody running the outside and nobody trying to make a move right now. You're going to make a move, though. You got to start figuring it out soon so you can get to the front. Choo-choo. We have a 13-car train out here. Running the wall at Talladega. You would have thought you'd ever see something like this. Looks like Jimmy Amos might be dropping around to the back of the field. As a reminder, top 10 get stage points. So right now, Jimmy Amos running 10th place. He's able to get himself 1 point. If he's able to hold that position, Miniker is the next one trying to beat him for position with Mendez behind. Thomas Green is not for position right now. I'm talking about the 67. I like that. The OMA modified series. That's good. 13 pushing the 10, trying to get him back up to Jared Newton. I get being patient, but at some point, you got to figure out when you're going to make that move. A lot of drivers, you can see a lot of gaps being left here. The 26 leaving a big gap there to the 37. Is he going to try and make a move here very soon? He's got the 45. Jared Newton's been looking to give him a push all the way through. But every time he tries to give him a push, the 26 just kind of holds up. Honestly, if you see these guys, if they could get organized here from about Rosema back to Lull, they could shove that inside off a run, like build the momentum, get a run, and send it hard on the inside and just blow through that outside line. Nobody really wanted to move up right now. You can even see right there, Rosema getting a push from Newton. Just kind of hanging back. Same thing back there, Yakavazi. He's got help from Qualls. We're coming around lap 44. 3 laps to go till stage. Law looks the inside. Might have help from Thomas Green, but they're going to have some serious help with side drafting. He actually gives up the spot to Jimmy Amos there. Inside, here he goes. What is Law going to have? He's got help from Thomas Green. They're going to be side drafting Yakavazi and Brad Qualls. Not able to get too much there as it dies off. Right now, Thomas Green, you can see, can't really break through that bubble. One big thing about the next-gen cars, it's hard to get up to the bumper. Like there's an imaginary bubble. They go down to the inside again. Coming through turns 3 and 4. A little bit of a checkup on the outside line as it looks like Minhang might be trying to set something up. Here we go, lap 45. Rosema's going to go. Rosema trying to side draft. They get some help back here. If they catch up to Rosema, might be able to make the push. The problem is Rosema's going to be so under speed at this point, you don't want to use him. He's going to drop all the way to the end of the field, and that's going to drop him out of the stage points. He's not eligible for playoffs, though. As you can see, the 13 going on the outside of the 10. Very bold move. He's going to almost cause an incident as he shuffles back to the middle of the field. And still no help back here for Christopher Lowell, trying to see if he can work his way up to the front. Nothing happening. Jimmy Amos shuffles around the line a little bit. 7th place for him right now. He's going to look to go to the inside, possibly around Brad Paul's not going to. Gonna be white flag for the stage. White flag for the stage. Next lap. Gonna be our stage break. Nobody really stepping out of line, making a move. The world's fastest train, possibly, coming around Talladega Superspeedways. We're going about 200 miles an hour down the backstretch. Taking a look at the front. Will Jared Talmadge make a move coming across the front stretch? Will Min Hang make a move? Min Hang doesn't really have help. Oh, now I'm getting told in the ear here. It is the completion of 47. I thought it was the start of 47. As you can see, the 45 is going to push to the inside. Jared Newton's going to try it again. We saw Rosema do this earlier. Didn't work for him. Does he get help, though? Further behind, you can see Yakavazi coming. So is Miniker. We're going to try and give him a bump. That inside line forming, but is it going to be enough? I think they waited too long to get this inside line moving. Good bump there from Yakavazi. Got to make sure you're square, though, as it's going to shuffle Newton up. And now Miniker getting a bump from Christopher Lowell. There at the back of the field. Got to try and make a move. Here comes Jimmy Amos down to the inside. Top 5 right now for him. We've got... Oh, they're wrecking in the back. And Ryan Miniker went for a ride. It's not his night. So let's go back, take a look at the replay here and see what on earth happened that brought out our 4th caution. Ryan Miniker, we'll go on board with Ryan Miniker. Holy cow. It's getting shoved. Yeah, almost a 4 wide there. And look at him flopping around. Let's take a look here at the 26 of Justin Rosema. We'll go on board here, kind of taking a look here at what his view was. Because it almost looked like he tried to push it into the middle. There was no room. Oh man, he got shot to the outside. So let's look here on board with, not Jared Newton, sorry, James Mendez. This is where the incident happened. We might have to go on the nose just to see, because it's hard to tell what initiated the contact there. Go hop on the nose here of the 92. We'll slow it down here as we get into that 4 wide situation. And Team Newton gets shuffled through. He gets a run. It's a tight squeeze. That right there comes up a little bit. Nothing he really can do at that point, as he's just along for the ride. So now what you guys were all waiting for, let's go on board with let's go on board here with Ryan Miniker. This is the gyro cam, so hopefully nobody gets too sick watching this. Let's go on board one more time here with the, oops, that's not the 40, with the 8. There we go. The dude gets hooked and then flips around there a good bit. Hopefully we see him come out of the infield care center soon. Because my gosh, that was quite the wreck there for the A car. So at stage, not really sure who is going to be our leader at that. I know we have cautions coming through and stuff like that. So let's take a look here and go through our mid-race break, where we take a moment to go through our field and give you a moment to see where your favorite drivers are at on track. Right now, race leader Jimmy Amos in the 67. He's going to lead the lap as well as he comes around. Alongside him right now, second place is going to be Gatlin Downey. Christopher Lull riding out in third place after getting bumped around a good bit. He's back up to the front. Brian Baker, he's been very consistent running up front here tonight. Currently running fourth place. Vincenzo Iacovazzi rounds out the top 5 right now. See that car clean again. Jared Newton, he's currently running in 6th place. Brad Quall's gotten involved in quite a few incidents. Hopefully has most, if not all, of his damage repaired. 7th place right now. Jared Talmadge, he's catching up to the field here. He is going to be 8th place. Min Hang, currently in 9th place. You can see him catching up to the field as well. Thomas Green rounds out the top 10. And then we've got James Mendez back out in 11th. Outside of that, we've got Justin Rosema, who's currently in 12th, and then Ryan Miniker, 13th. That is our field here so far for tonight. It was definitely one of the harsher incidents that I've seen since I've been broadcasting for the OMA VRC. That was a harsh one, for sure. As we get ready to go green flag racing again, going to be interesting to see how things go with Jimmy Amos up at the front. He'll have Christopher Law behind him. The outside, Gatlin Downey, Brian Baker. Baker's been a good pusher and a good leader. So we'll see what he decides to do with if he follows Gatlin Downey or if he takes Jared Newton around with him. But here we go, the field in the hands of the 67 of Jimmy Amos. And we are back green flag racing here on our 4th restart of the night. 44 laps to go as we take the green. Driver shuffling around, no help here for Amos on the inside. Gatlin down all the way up to the wall. The driver shuffling around all over the place, trying to find where they want to go. He lied a little bit further back in the field. Jared Talmadge, Min Hang to the front. Gatlin Downey, Brian Baker behind. And there it is. Christopher Law spinning. Bring out our 5th caution of the night. So not sure what happened with the 17 and the 10. They're just washing up, making contact. Surprising that the caution did not come out sooner. That's because there was no on traffic coming. Unfortunate for the 17, he was having himself a really good run. And just came through. Ashton Tackwell back on track. He was able to get his system figured out. Great to see. He is back in the race here. Unfortunately, 24 is 23 laps down at this point. Nicker and Roseman still on pit road, so we'll see how long it's going to take them to get back out. I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to go fill up my water real quick, and I will be right back. All right, we are back. Sorry about that. Need to get a quick drink. Why don't we bring down, it's currently on pit road, but we'll bring down for a brief interview the 16. Have Jarrett Talmadge hop into the call real quick. And Jarrett, do you have a copy?
Yeah, hi.
How's it going out there on track right now in the 16?
It's going great. I'm currently eating Little Caesars, but it's going amazing.
Say it again?
I'm eating Little Caesars from the infield, not in the car.
Nice.
I guess I should go back out there before I go a lap down.
Yeah, probably might not be a bad idea.
Going great. Hope the racing looks good for the broadcast.
There's definitely been a lot of action, that's for sure. It's been a very eventful race so far as we get ready to go green here soon. But tonight, I mean, it's been a lot of ups and downs for you, getting involved in a couple incidents. Being that you're the points leader, and you should probably maintain that after tonight, are you looking to try and go for the win here at the end of the race?
Yeah, I mean, why not get a couple extra bonus points, you know? We'll see how it settles out around, you know. I'm kind of working with a couple people, some people who are close to the cut line of the playoff. Steve can't help them, you know. It comes down to it, but yeah, it's been a pretty crazy race. Kind of glad, you know, so that way the broadcast wasn't, you know, too shabby. Hope it's fun, and yeah, we're out here sending it, so let's see what happens.
All right, well, I'm going to send you on back up to your call with your teammate Thomas Green, and good luck going forward here. We'll see if we can get that 16 into victory lane.
Thank you.
That was your current points leader, Jarrett Talmadge. Taking a break and eating some Little Caesars in the infield. Not a bad way to spend your time, I guess. To catch us up to the field. We're going to go green flag race this time by. Once the field gets formed up, we'll see where everybody's at. Because right now, I don't know if they know where everybody's supposed to be. We're going 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Is there nobody on the outside line? So it looks like our starting lineup here for this restart, our 5th restart of the night. Newton, Heng, Baker, Walls, and then Well, I'm not sure what's going on. Everybody keeps shuffling around. So it's hard to tell what is going to happen. We might not have anybody on the outside. It might be a single file restart at this point. I'll just be honest, I'm very, very confused. So here we go. We're going to go green 39 laps. That outside line is very bare. And here we go. Jared Newton leading us around. 5th restart of the night. 45 takes the field through the Geico restart zone. He's going to get himself a big jump. The real Brian Baker back in. Justin Rosema back on track. He is currently 6 laps down. Ashton Tackwell is in the pack here. 24 laps down himself. Miniker and Lowell still in pit road. And look at that train out back. Lots of cars lining up. They're going to be blown by front 3 here. Vincenzo Iacovazzi moving to the outside. He's got Tackwell behind. Gatlin Downey with him. And the 24 give the 10 some good pushes. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough because here comes the 16 on the outside. All the way up to the wall. We've seen them running up there a good bit. Earlier when it was a freight train, we had everybody on the outside wall. And oh my goodness, Brad Quall's making contact. That's going to send Vincenzo into the outside wall, causing him to lose the pack. So these drivers might lose the pack up front. Jimmy Amos falling behind. He's all by himself there. The front pack now is pulling a good bit away. As we're going here, so now we got 2 lines going on. Jimmy Amos kind of awkwardly in the middle. Let's go to the sights and sounds of Talladega Superspeedway. We're going to turn off the mic and crank up the sounds on track to let you get fully immersed with racing going on here at Talladega. Hopefully you enjoy the sights and sounds of Talladega Superspeedway. As you can see, the groups settling in. First four, pulled away about a second and a half here over Jarrett Talmadge in the second group. Take a look here. If we take a look at the way the gap is built, past a couple laps. From Newton back to Talmadge. It's kind of bounced around. At one point it was over 2 seconds. Brought it down to a little under 1 3/4 seconds. The chase group. 5 drivers right now. Might pick up Yakovazzi as well. Top 9 cars currently on the lead lap. It might be top 8 here after a couple laps. Brad Qualls by himself. Take a look. Here's the chase group. I really haven't made any ground. We've got 30 laps to go, though. At this point, I think they still might have to make a stop for fuel. It'll be a tough call. We'll have to wait and see, though. If drivers are going to have to make a stop for fuel before the end of the race. Might become a strategy race at this point. Stereotypical Superspeedway racing. Chase group needs to get organized. See if they can tighten up, because right now you got the great tandem up front. The problem is you don't have the support behind. You can see it very spread out. You can tighten up this group a bit. Bringing that down almost to about a second and a half to the race lead. About 1 1/4 seconds back from Gatlin Downey. Right now, the front group made up of Newton, Baker, Mendez, Downey. The chase group made up of, on the lead lap, we got Jarrett Talmadge, Min Heng, Jimmy Amos, and Thomas Green, with Vincenzo Yakovazzi and Ashton Tackwell thrown in. This chase group, the last lap, not really making up a lot of time. And Heng's doing everything he can. He needs help from further back, and there we go. Jimmy Amos, oh no, Tackwell sideways! Can he lock it down? He saves it, but unfortunately, that's going to cause him to drop off. What a save, though. Let's go back. I want to see that real quick. I believe this is going to be... Of course. Never mind. Not going to be able to see that incident. Would have been awesome to see the save. And they continue to lose time here to that front group. Now trying to figure out what's going to be the best way to go about this group. Got a damaged Yakovazzi. Thomas Green bringing up the rear. Looks like Min Heng might be going to the front of this chase group. But the problem is, in trying to get this organized, they've lost themselves now about 3 seconds. They went from about 1.7 back, now they are 4.5 back. So an interesting call here to shake things up. 26 laps to go. Gonna take a lot of effort to keep up with that front group or be able to catch up with that front group. Checking with the front group, Jared Newton, Brian Baker, James Mendez, and Gatlin Downey, sorry. Forget about him as well. 4 cars up here to the 5 in the chase group. So a reminder, here is the points situation. Yeah, they haven't made up any time because they're very disorganized. And I will say Baker has been a huge surprise here tonight. We've seen him run up front in some races, but it's been kind of like mixed in between the ones that he's up there. He has been showing that he is a very good partner for Superspeedways here tonight. Been a great pusher, been a great leader. He has been a very good all-around Superspeedway partner to have. If you take a look on the bottom right side, again, here's the points situation for tonight. Sipes and Bassiani, McGalliard all not here. Christopher Law pretty much out of contention at this point. But it looks like everybody in the green is clear now at this point. Unless some miracle happens and Law's able to get 6 laps back and get the race win. But I'll have to wait and see how it goes. Still, drivers looking for first wins. Newton, Baker, and Downey all looking for their first wins. James Mendez an opportunity to get his 3rd victory of the season. Chase Group is making up time, that's for sure. They have gained about a second over the past 2 laps now. Doesn't help if you look at the front of the 45, it seems like there might be a little bit of damage. Any aero damage would definitely be slowing them down. Laps to go, and let's take a look real quick. Last time these drivers all came down for fuel. Lap 53. So if they go all the way to the end, it's gonna be tight on fuel. Most likely, drivers are gonna have to come in for a splash and dash, especially Newton for sure. Highly doubt he's gonna be able to make it 47 laps here. Caution is out. Not sure what happened. The 10 car is slow. Go back here and see if we can catch what happened. Oh, snap. Well, we have to back it up a little bit more for that. Going into turn 3 and 4. Amos runs a bit wide, tries to get back in line. And yep, he accidentally hooks the 10 there. Launch into the outside wall. Not sure if the caution was admin throw or if it was iRacing thrown. That's gonna bunch the field up here. Takes out a bit of fun for strategy. Honestly, was kind of looking forward to seeing how things were going to play out on pit stops. But now we lose that excitement. At this point, driver's going to definitely be good on fuel. Question is, how much fuel do you put in? Do you put in just enough to make it to the end? Do you put in some extra fuel in case we go to overtime? That is the question a lot of these drivers are probably going through at this point. In my opinion, I think it would be best to try and take fuel to at least make sure you can get through 1, maybe 2 overtimes, and if you need a 3rd, then you come down and take fuel then. Bright side is, the field size is small. We have 8 drivers now on the lead lap, so you're only going 4 rows deep. Not like you're going a 25 car field and you're back in row 12 having to make a push to the front in 2 laps. It's not going to happen. Anything can happen with the field where you're in the first 4 rows on the restart, and you have a shot at the win. So we come down pit road. Jared Newton leading the field. You can see how got just a handful of drivers. They've all got clean cars, though. That is the bright side. So anybody can really put themselves in a situation to win. Some experienced winners in the front. Min Hang, Jared Talmadge, Thomas Green. Jared Newton's going to be in and out pretty quick. There's a quick splash and dash for him. He took just enough fuel probably to make it to the end. Most of the other drivers, looks like they're taking full service. Min Hang is going to be out second. Brian Baker third. Thomas Green fourth. And then Gatlin Downey fifth. Looks like Jared Talmadge is enjoying his Little Caesars. Probably got another slice from the crew when he came down. So Jimmy Amos at the front of the field here. Is he going to come down this time around, or is he electing to stay? It'd be interesting to see what he does. I don't think he's got enough fuel to make it. Last time he came down pit lane was lap 53. It's about 20 laps ago. We're going to go green flag racing. 18 laps left in the race. Going to be a mad dash to the finish. Yeah, pit. It's a shame. The 16 tonight should have been sponsored by Little Caesars. Maybe somebody can hook him up with a Little Caesars car for the next race. That'd be hysterical. Honestly, I might even do that myself. Just whip up a scheme real quick, because I have some bases I could use for that. Oh my gosh, now I'm getting ideas. What's up, Eddie? Good to see you hopping in. So Crystal's going to take his wave around. Only 6 laps down. Jimmy Amos is staying out. Perhaps he has saved enough. Right? Drew last season, I could have been sponsored by any toilet company to pick. I just came across the radio, by the way, that Ryan Miniker still has about 9 minutes worth of damage to repair, but he is going to try and bring it out if he's able to. So 9 drivers on the lead lap here. Outside line made up of just 3 cars. Min Hang, Thomas Green, and Jared Newton. The inside, led by Jimmy Amos, who's led multiple laps here tonight. And we've got Brian Baker, Gatlin Downey, and it looks like Jared Newton on the inside as well. No, not Jared Newton, sorry. He dropped to the back. That would be 26 of Justin Rosema, who's currently 7 laps down. Yeah, it's things that you couldn't have made at home, Noah. It would have been awesome to see you on track here tonight, but it's okay. It is what it is. Sadly, life takes priority. So here we go. Getting ready to go green flag racing. 18 laps to go. Jimmy Amos in control of the field. Barney the flagman ready to roll for our 6th restart of the night. Possibly our last one. A bunch of field back up once more. Green flag racing yet again here at Talladega Superspeedway. Jimmy Amos pulls ahead all by himself, so expect that outside line to just zoom around him. Baker's going to try and give him a shot, but I think not much you can do. Yeah, not a good one. Amos has kind of been all over the place on that inside line. Hard to really push when you have a driver that isn't holding their line on the inside. As Newton to the front, lots of moving around further back. Some sketchy moments. You see drivers all over the place. Justin Rosemont now moving up to the top again. 6 laps down for him. So he's just kind of driving around at this point. Not really a chance he's going to get... Sorry, 7 laps down. Not really a chance he's going to get this back. James Mendez, though, backing way off Thomas Green. Thomas Green is going to let Min Hang go a little bit. Potential runs being built by the 3 and the 92. We'll see again. Season winners up towards the front of the field. We are 3 wide for the race lead. Mendez, Hang, Baker. Rosemont racing for a lap back. Talmadge now into the middle of this 3 wide. He's going to go up to the top, and here we go. We've seen these three pairing up a good bit here tonight. They made up that chase group earlier. It's going to be Talmadge, Hang, and Green. Gatlin Downey up to the front. He's going to try and go to the front of the field. Well, oh, he gets turned by the 16. Min Hang all the way to the bottom. He's getting turned by Amos to the inside wall. Goes Min Hang. He smacks that inside wall real hard. Probably breaking the toe there. Caution is out. Maybe going full-time next year. Let's go. That would be huge. That would be awesome. Love to be seeing more full-time drivers into the VRC. So our 7th caution of the night here. Baker is going to be your race leader. Jared Newton, 2nd place. Mendez, 3rd. Talmadge, 4th. Green in 5th. Right now, the front 2 have not won on the iRacing side of VRC. Eddie was saying earlier that 1st, 3rd, and 5th at the moment that he sent that message had never won in VRC. Now, obviously, Baker, he's a rookie, has not. Not sure about Jared Newton, if he has won before. I know he hasn't since we've made the switch to iRacing. But other drivers that could be potential first-time winners, Gatlin Downey, Brad Qualls, Jimmy Amos, all up for potential wins here. So taking a look through the field here real quick, you can see kind of the shape some of the cars are in. Doesn't look like the 16 sustained any damage. I'm going to come down and check just to make sure. Mendez's car somehow is clean given all the incidents he's been in tonight. There's Thomas Green, his car also fairly clean. Gatlin Downey losing the entire front end of his car. Walls, given the contact he made there through that incident, looks like he is clean and good to go. Min Hang, though, you can see took a good lick on the inside wall. That probably broke the toe, my guess. We'll see how long it's going to take the 2 to repair. As we wait for the restart here, just want to remind everybody that we have a week off next week. We are going to be going to iRacing Superspeedway, the fictional track for the All-Star race. That is not going to be broadcasted. However, the week after, on the 23rd, we continue Season 11. We start off the playoffs at Darlington. So join us as we get ready to go to do the track that is too tough to tame, the Lady in Black. It's going to be a very exciting race. One of the more challenging tracks on the NASCAR schedule, and honestly, one of the more challenging tracks to drive in the next gen car. The way the car handles around there, it is a mixed bag of things, and we'll see who's going to add their paint to the outside wall to Darlington. So make sure to join us in 2 weeks for that. And then we also have, after that, we're going to have Coda the week after, and then followed up by Atlanta, going to Hotlanta for some Superspeedway style racing. So that will be rather interesting with that one, given the fact that at that point we're going to be halfway through the playoffs. Make sure you guys join us for all of our playoff races going forward. There we go. We got confirmation from Eddie on drivers that have won, that are currently in the field for VRC. So we have seen previous VRC. Now this is both Heat and iRacing, but previous winners: Talmadge, Mendez, Green, Hang, Yakavazi won on Heat. Same with Miniker. So outside of the first three, Talmadge, Mendez, Green, Hang, the rest of the field has not won on the iRacing side of things. So here we go, getting the field grouped back up. Get ready to go green flag racing once more. And then for those of you just joining us, just a little reminder that we are not using the choose cone here for the restarts for speedways. We do not use those. So Brian Baker back up to the front. He's been up very, very often to the race lead. Jared Newton has occasionally been up there as well. Thomas Green has not really spent much time in the race lead, but a couple other drivers try to maybe keep note of. We've seen Mendez work his way up to the front, even doing a really good job pushing. Gatlin Downey has been kind of hanging around top 5. So here we go, getting ready to go green flag racing. 7th restart of the night. Could potentially be our last. "12 laps to go. Here comes the one of Brian Baker. He's got Mendez and Talmadge pushing behind. Here we go, green flag yet again at Talladega Superspeedway. Rookie Brian Baker at the front of the field, Jared Newton behind. Who is going to win at Talladega? Are we going to have a new race winner? Are we going to have a repeat winner? Oh, okay. So Eddie Kalegi says in the chat that Gatlin Downey is a former OMA champion. He won the Truck Series Championship on Heat back in 2019. So he is definitely familiar with being in high pressure situations. As you see, he's currently riding out 4th place and working his way up to the front as he's going to try and work with the current points leader, Jarrett Talmadge. Now, Jarrett, we talked to him a little bit earlier. He had mentioned how he wants to try and build all of his bonus points as he can into the playoffs. Last season, between him and Jewah, it was a really tight battle up to the final races. But Drew ultimately came away with the championship, getting his 3rd straight OMA VRC championship. This season, we're not going to see a 4P. What a block from the 1! Brian Baker goes to the top. He's going to shut off the 16 on the run. And now you're going to see Jared Talmadge to the bottom. He's going to have James Mendez behind. Him and Mendez have been working pretty well together. Gallon Downey going to the outside. He's going to have help from the 24. Aggressive side drafting from Brian Baker. Baker 3 wide. Can he get into the inside? Yes, he will. Brian Miniker in the 8 back on track. So that top line kind of dissolving there. They'll see if they can regroup, maybe send it back again. Jared Newton's going to be in charge of that top line now. Like I was saying, though, the 16 car last season had a great battle with Jewah for the championship up to the very end of the season. But ultimately, Drew got it. Drew this season not going to be able to run the playoffs, and so he is forfeiting his spot in the playoffs. We got lots of movement going on up front. So Jared Talmadge looking to maybe get his championship that he was hoping for last year. But here we go. We are all over the place. 3 wide further behind. Jared Newton to the front. Thomas Green's going to be behind. These drivers all over the place looking to get themselves into victory lane. 9 to go. Justin Rosemont, he is a lap car. So yes, you can see him up there. He's racing hard. Really needs to just be careful not to get himself involved in something he doesn't need to. Mendez and Talmadge falling back through the field. So back up to the front. Jared Newton holding on to the race lead right now. Thomas Green is behind him. I talked to Thomas Green earlier. He talked about how he wants to get that Intimidator car into victory lane. We'll see if he can get the Intimidator 3 into victory lane here at Talladega, one of Dale Sr.'s best tracks to run. Many drivers had said in the asked about him, it was like he can see the air going around the cars at the Superspeedways. Why he was so successful at a track like Talladega. And here he goes to the front, as you can see him on the outside line. Going to be enough of a push, though, from Rosemont. Doesn't look like it. Of course, they're going to fall off here. So Baker and Newton, they have a buffer right now with Justin Rosemont. 7 laps to go. Gallon Downey now on the outside line. Actually, there's a big buffer with Ryan Miniker in there as well. You can see the top 9 cars on the lead lap. Amos way off the pace. He's not in the pack anymore. 3 wide further behind, though. Cars all over the place here trying to figure out where to go. 13 is on the lead lap. That is Brad Qualls. The 24 of Ashton Tackwell, though, is not. It's funny, he had troubles with the sim. He is only 22 laps down. Ryan Miniker went for a Tony Stewart. Ryan Newman, or however you want to think of it, style ride. He finds himself 34 laps down. Here comes Gatlin down into the outside. If he's going to send it, he needs help. There we go. He's got help. 16, 92, 2, 3, all following the outside line. The big push. Here we go. We're going to have a race on our hands. The 13 is going to try and follow behind as well. Gallon Downey to the race lead. He's got a huge push from the 16. They're not going to be clear, though, to move to the bottom. There they go. They're clear heading into turn 3. Gallon Downey hopefully can get a push from the 45. Talmadge says that's not all, though. Here we go. I'm going to get myself to the race lead as he's got James Mendez pushing him. We saw earlier that outside line. As long as you got the organization, the outside line is fast. They're going to stay on that outside line. We'll see if they can get themselves all 4 clear. Looks like they might. They are all 4 clear if they want it. They don't want it, though. They're going to stay on the outside line. We saw this. Choot, choot, ka-choo. Everybody on the outside. We got 5 cars up there now. All the way to the wall. Sorry. Make it 7 cars. It's the couple of lap cars in the pack are joining in behind. At inside line, though, falling way off. Somehow, Minhang in that 2 car damaged up on the left side. They took the wheel well off the car It is keeping up great right now. So as we come across the tri-oval, 4 laps to go. A block thrown by Talmadge. It's not a good one. Almost wrecks the field. And now Newton's stuck in the middle of the 3 wide. He gets put in the sucker hole. He's going to end up dropping through. Hopefully he can rejoin. It looks like Miniker's going to let him in. Talmadge thinking about trying to block the top. Not going to happen. He's going to have Baker behind. Baker's been a great pusher here tonight. He was trying to push Newton. Wasn't working. He's got now Jared Talmadge. Seeing if he can push Talmadge to the front. Minhang dropping down. Minhang's going to get himself to the race lead. How is this 2 car that has been beaten around, even went to the inside wall, riding in the race lead right now? Somehow he's up there. The problem is, I think because of the damage, it's going to hold up the inside line. Here comes Thomas Green, James Mendez, if I could talk, is up to the front. Newton. Thomas, oh my goodness, Thomas Green, race leader. We are shoving around, big wreck. Here we go. Couple drivers into the outside wall. Here comes Mendez. Oh, Talmadge gets turned around. We're going to get ourselves overtime. Eighth caution of the night. And that could very well be some of these drivers' opportunity to win the race. Thomas Green, that right front dead. Don't know if he's used his fast repair. If he hasn't, great. If he has, that is his race. He's done for the night. We're going to take a look here. Let's do a wide shot here so you can see exactly what happened. This was a checkup on the inside. It had to do with the 37 coming down. Yeah, it just doesn't get a very clean push there from the 2. Gets a shot in the corner, and here we go. Everything falls apart from there. The 26 came down. That's how the 16 got involved. And the 92 came down on the 45. So let's go through that on board here with Gatlin Downey. Mendez tries to go for the block on Green. Can't get the block. See if he can come on the inside. And then a big push there from Downey. That's not where it started because it was a domino effect here. Go right on board with Minhang. Makes that run, gives him a bump. The problem was wasn't squared up with the 37. Sometimes you can make that bump in the corner. Because he wasn't squared up, it caused the 37 to get an awkward push. He was already down on the white line. Let's hop on board here with the 3 car. Go back bumper here. You can see that there's the push. Not squared up. Straight to the outside. Go on board the 45 of Ryan Miniker here and take a look at how his viewpoint had it. He got tagged there at the very end of the wreck. Trying to let off, goes to the apron, and there was that little bump there from Rosema. Got him involved, and then he's just along for the ride, kills the front end. Let's go see, Qualls just further back here. But he's going to try and send it inside. Great wreck avoidance there from the 13. So, looking at things right now, the 1 car is your race leader. You can see his car pretty clean here. Brad Qualls made it through that wreck nice and clean. The 13 is in second. Jimmy Amos is in third. Jared Newton fourth. It looks like they were able to get that car repaired. Either that or they brought out the backup car. Everybody else is still on pit road. Not saying there's not a chance for the drivers on pit road to be able to give themselves a race win, but the clean cars are definitely going to have the advantage. Should be one to go this time. We'll see him start to bunch up. Bottom of the field having to come back around. Thomas Green still on pit road, same with Gatlin Downey. So I'm assuming they've got themselves meatballs. They're going to go a lap down. They have required damage. So only 7 cars going to be on the lead lap on this restart. First of 3 overtime attempts. So for those of you unfamiliar with how overtime works here in the OMA VRC, we get 3 attempts to go through overtime. Green, white, checkered. So we take the green, go around. If we take the white next time around, then that is official. The next flag we take is the checkered flag. If we get a caution before the white, we're going to stack it up, and we'll give it another shot. So we get 3 attempts to try and finish under green flag conditions, and we'll see how things fare out here. Good. Waiting for cars to get caught up to the field. Mendez, Talmadge, Hang, all trying to catch up. Like I said, the first 4 cars all clean. We've got Baker in first, Qualls in second, Amos third, Newton fourth. Then it's going to be Mendez, Talmadge, Hang, rounding out your lead lap cars. So let us know in the chat, who do you think is coming away with tonight's race win? You've got 7 choices at this point. Like I said, Baker, Qualls, Amos, Newton, Mendez, Talmadge, and Hang. Who is your pick for the race win? Right now, if I were to take a guess, I'm going to say Baker. He's been doing a great job tonight, especially up front, leading the race. It's going to come down to who can control the lines on these last 2 laps. Overtime attempt number 1. Here we go. It's going to be Benny, the pace car driver, off Brian Baker, going to lead us through the restart zone. He's got Amos behind, Qualls on the outside, a jump here. Qualls times that really well on the outside. Newton Hang going to be behind him. Will they push the 13 to victory? No help on the inside for the 1. And oh my gosh, Amos quite literally throwing the elbows out. So he gets to the outside and bumps Min Hang. Qualls to the race lead. 45 Jared Newton getting a good push. The outside line has formed up to perfection. Back to the front. Qualls gets pushed to the bottom. 3 wide for the race lead. The middle has the support. Newton in the middle. He's got Hang and Talmadge behind. Baker as well. Newton, some reason, moving to the bottom, unless he got moved by Min Hang. Min Hang up to the race lead. Somehow that damaged 2 car is to the front. Jared Talmadge pushing him hard. And it's going to be Mendez almost shoving him out of the way. He's going to have to go all the way to the bottom. Blocking the 92. White flag. This race is officially outside line. 3 cars tandem. 2, 92, 1. Then James Mendez into the outside wall. He's not going to get his 3rd victory of the season. Min Hang in the race lead. You've got Jared Talmadge in 2nd. Brad Qualls 3rd. Jimmy Amos 4th. Jared Newton 5th. It is going to be a drag race here. Amos goes to the middle. No support whatsoever. He's going to try and hold it. Not going to be able to do it. Jared Talmadge shoving the 2 all the way down the back stretch. He is hooked onto him. The 13 could have a chance. He's got to get a run. Can he stay in that slipstream? Can he get a shove? Doesn't look like he's going to, but the 45 is shoving Jimmy Amos all the way down through turns 3 and 4. Not going to be able to get it. It's going to be a drag race to the finish. It looks like Jared Talmadge shoving Min Hang. Min Hang is going to get his 1st win here of season 11. Brad Qualls will be 3rd. Jared Talmadge 2nd place. What a run to the end there. somehow that extremely damaged 2 car brings it home to victory lane. So as they're coming around, let's go take a look here at the final results here for tonight's race. So we've got Min Hang, your race winner. First time this season that he's gotten the car into victory lane. Then you've got Jared Talmadge, Brad Qualls round out your top 3. Jared Newton, 4th place. Jimmy Amos, 5th. Brian Baker, 6th. And he is the last car on the lead lap. James Mendez comes home in 7th place. Sorry, Mendez was the last car on the lead lap. Thomas Green in 8th. Gatlin Downey, 9th. Justin Rosema, 10th. Vincenzo Iacovazzi, 11th. Christopher Law in 12th. Ashton Tackwell, 13th. And Ryan Miniker rounds out the field for tonight. So, we will see if we can get some post-race interviews. Give me one moment here as we get everybody set to come in. So while we wait, we might have the 13 come in for an interview, but while we wait, we can always bring in the bring in our second place finisher here for tonight.
No.
Oh, sorry, was it a bad time, Jarrett?
No, I was just telling Thomas I was going to do the interview.
Oh, okay. So you came home second place here tonight. I know you were talking about wanting to get the car into victory lane, and you were working with some drivers. Obviously, you were working there with Min Hang. You gave him a great push there at the end. Were you going to try and maybe get around him at the end, or did you decide that you were just going to ride behind?
I was just riding behind him, trying to get him into the playoffs.
Well, he definitely locked himself in, that's for sure.
Yeah, we were, I don't know, at some point in the race, he messaged me talking about how he needed to make the playoffs, and figured, you know, I got my surplus of wins. I could have won that, but, you know, I'd rather just stick to what we said and make sure you get the win there.
Yeah, it was a good race for you, though, all in all. I mean, there was a couple incidents that you got involved with, but looking forward to the playoffs. I know tonight, maybe not the most ideal. You still got second place out of it. But looking forward to the playoffs. We've got Darlington next, and then Coda, and then Atlanta. So it is a wide mixed bag of things. What is going to be your strategy, or how are you going about preparing for these first 3 races of the playoffs?
I don't have Coda, so we'll see how that goes. And to be honest, I'm probably not gonna buy it. But yeah, for Darlington, and I don't remember what the third one was that you said, but I don't know. We'll just we'll go into it like any normal race. To be honest, just try and stay at the front and be there at the end to win it.
All right. Well, before you head on out and start to get ready for the playoffs, anybody you would like to thank? Anything else you'd like to say, Jarrett?
Yeah, shout out to you for on the broadcast. Shout out to everybody who showed up tonight. I know some people were busy doing stuff, and shout out to my teammate Thomas, and yeah, shout out to Men for the win.
All right. Well, congratulations on your regular season championship. We'll see if you can follow it up with a full season championship as we enter the season 11 playoffs. Congratulations, Jarrett.
Completely forgot I won that. Thanks.
Yes, you did.
Thank you.
Congrats again. So now we're going to pull up our race winner for tonight. We haven't really talked to him here too much this season, but Min Hang, the driver of the 2 car, recently switched over to Nexus Esports, gets his somehow damaged 2 car into victory lane. And Min Hang, that was a roller coaster of a race for you tonight.
Yeah, no kidding. It was definitely weird circumstance, because I think Jarrett turned me on lap 6, and that's the only reason I got like a lap down for like half the race. So it was nice to see the reciprocation towards the end there. I appreciate that a lot. But yeah.
Yeah, he definitely helped. You guys always seem to work together really well, these super speedways. Whether it's you pushing or him pushing, you guys always seem to find each other and make your way to the front. it was great driving for you there tonight. Even though you were wrecked, you only were about a lap or two down. You were able to work your way back through the field. The amount of cautions definitely helped with that, but it definitely locks you into the playoffs here for season 11. And it's going to be a mixed bag of playoffs with we were just talking with Jared about it, Darlington, Coda, and then Atlanta. So looking through those races, I mean, I know Coda, you're pretty good at the road course racing. We'll see how you fare at Coda, but with Darlington and Atlanta, you've got 3 really different tracks. What is going to be your plan on going forward for these opening rounds of the playoffs?
I think the name of the game is just to get the points we need to get into the round of 6, because last year there was only like, you know, 1 round of playoffs. Now there's 2, so we have to actually, like, you know, make it to the final round here. So I'm not, you know, unlike the whole regular season where I was just concerned with getting the win, because I knew I would either make it on win or points or a wild card in the playoffs. Now it's just about, like, you know, getting the good finishes, because the good finishes will eventually stack up, and once you get into the round of 6, that's when, you know, all the gloves go off, and, you know, we roll the dice on the table and see what happens.
Something to be interesting to see how the playoffs go. Like we said, Darlington's a tough track. Coda is going to be an interesting one too for road course racing. But congratulations on your win here tonight. Congratulations on locking yourself into the playoffs. And before you head on out, anybody you would like to thank? Anything else you would like to say, man?
Just thanks, Drew, for letting me into the team. I know it was kind of a weird circumstance and how it, you know, all came together, but, you know, we're working something together, you know, improving the relationship over in that. And then again, thanks to Jared, I owe him $5. Not gonna say why. I just happen to owe him $5.
All right. Well, congratulations again on your race win. Congratulations on making the season 11 playoffs, and we will see you at Darlington.
Thank you.
So with that all being said, our field of 12 is locked in for the playoffs, I believe. Just going through the order one more time. Our top 12 teams making it into the playoffs. We got Jared Talmadge, Jolene Sims, James Mendez, Tim Moore, Thomas Green, Isaac Shelley, Jared Newton, Brad Qualls, Min Hang, Brian Miniker, Brian Baker, and Jimmy Amos. Going to be our 12 cars competing for the season 11 championship. So we're going to have a new champion for the first time in 4 seasons. But with all that being said, we want to take a moment to thank you all again for joining us here at Racing Lights Productions for the Online Motorsports Association's Virtual Racing Championship SeatGeek Last Chance 250. Congratulations again to Min Hang for getting his first win of the season and locking himself into the playoffs. We will be off next week as drivers prepare for the season 11 playoffs, as well as a little bit of a celebration with the All-Star race. We will be back on March 23rd at Darlington to kick off the playoffs with the Lady in Black. Be sure to follow the OMA on Twitter with @OMA_league to stay up to date on anything you may have that has happened with the league or anything you may have missed. We hope you all enjoyed the broadcast tonight. I want to thank the OMA for allowing us to bring this race to all of you. Be sure to check out Racing Lights Productions on Twitter with Racing Lights Pro, as well as on Facebook and Instagram. You can also check out the playlist here on YouTube for any broadcast that you may have missed. I'm Alex Light saying good night to you from the virtual Talladega Superspeedway. Thanks again for tuning in.